Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we are covering the fundamental rights, okay? And basically in the previous lecture, we had covered the right against exploitation. Okay? So that's a topic that we had covered in the previous lecture. And basically, we had covered the two articles there, Article 23 and Article 24. So these are the two articles which are the part of the right against exploitation. So before start today's lecture, I will ask you the one simple question like which provision is provided under Article 23 and which provision is provided under Article 24. Okay. To answer this, you have 30 seconds, then I will give you the answer. So your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Time's up. So basically, if we talk about the provisions of Article 23, then it is ban the human trafficking and any form of forced labor. बेगार or bandhuwa. Thereafter, if we talk about Article 24, then basically it banned the employment of children below 40 years of age. Okay, so these are the provisions of that two articles. 23 banned the human trafficking and any form of forced labor, begar or bandhuwa. Article 24 banned the employment of children below 14 years of age. Okay, that's the thing. So here we have make a little bit revision. Now let's start with today's lecture. So today we are going to talk about the right to religion. Okay, right to religion. So basically, if we talk about right to religion, so there are 4 articles in it. Article 25, Article 26, 27 and 28. So these are the 4 articles which covered under the right to religion. Okay, so that's the thing. So if we talk about the first one, freedom of conscience, free profession, practice and propagation of religion, this is the part of the first article, which is the Article 25. Got it? So basically, the Article 25 says that all persons are equally entitled to the freedom of conscience and right to freely profess, practice, and propagate their religion. Okay, and basically, this having some implications are like the first one is the freedom of conscience. What is the meaning of this? This is the inner freedom of any individual to mold his relation with God or creatures in whatever way he desires. Okay, like if we talk about it, then we know if we took the major religions, like if we took the Hinduism, also known as Sanatan. Okay, thereafter, if we talk about the Islam, all right, so basically these two are the major religions of this country, all right, and these two religions basically having some you can say way so that you could connect to the God. Like if we talk about Hinduism, so we know that you are required to do the worship. Okay, then you are required to read the sculptures and all, then you will connect to the God. In Islam, the same thing is there. You have to you can say pray in the masjid, you have to obey the you can say religious leaders, then only you will get the connection to the God. Okay, so if we talk about the first one, the first sect is known as Orthodox and traditional sect. Okay, like these are the persons who basically still show their connectedness to the God by using the traditional or orthodox methods. Okay, but during the medieval time, or you can say during the middle centuries, the new sect was developed within these two religions. Like in Hinduism or Sanatan, there was a bhakti movements. Okay, in Islam there was a Sufism movements. Okay, both these two religions belong. These two movements basically belongs to two different religions, but the concept was same. Like they bypassed traditional ways and established new ways. Similar with the Sufism, bypassed traditional ways and establish new ways. Okay, so that was a major change that developed during that time. Now the question is, why I have taken you here? Because this is the way by which you will be able to understand this in a you can say best effective manner. Like here we have seen the followers of Hinduism or Sanatan or the Islam now got two ways to show their connectedness with the God, either by using the orthodox or the traditional sects, or by having the partnership with the Bhakti movements and the Sufism movements. All right, so similar thing was even provided in the constitution. Like basically the constitution said the way the individual likes, okay, inner freedom, basically he could mold his religion with the God or creatures. Like if he want to use the traditional way, then he could do it. If they want to use the modern way established by the Bhakti movements or the Sufism movements, they could use it. Even if they want to find out some other way, the new innovative way through which they are feeling that they could get connect to the God, so they could do it. Okay, it means that there is no restrictions, there is no you can say decision on some particular fact that if you want to be the part of that particular religion, if you want to follow that particular religion, then you are required to do these practices only. If you are not doing these practices, then you could not be the part of that particular religion. So this thing is basically banned, or you can say restricted under the freedom of conscience. Okay, got it? The second one is the right to profess. Okay, it means that declaration of one's religious beliefs and faith openly and freely. All right, basically if we talk about it, then the main reason of is lies in the historical scenarios. Why? Because if we talk about the historical scenario, so there was no democracy, there were kingdoms. Okay, and their rulers. Got it? So generally there was some kind of scenarios like whichever religion the ruler had. Okay, and the rulers council or we could call it as a nobility. Okay, whatever religion they had, they generally promoted that particular religion only. Okay, like suppose if they belong to the XYZ religion. Okay, so what will happen within their territory? They would only promote that particular religion. And if someone belongs to the ABC religion, then the person will require to pay some taxes to the ruler. Then only the person is allowed to follow that particular religion and practice that particular religion. But still, the public speech in favor or promotion of that religion will be banned. It means that however the persons will allow to follow the ABC religion but by paying taxes, but they could not openly promote and speak about their religion in the public. Okay, if the religion is different from the religion of ruler and the ruler's council. All right, but when we got independence, so basically we had designed the country which is a democratic country. So here we said that there is a right to profess. It means person who having different religion, they could easily you can say talk about their religious belief, faith in a openly and freely manner. Why? Because India is a secular country. Okay, and the state or the government do not promote any particular religion. Okay, so there is nothing like this. Thereafter, right to practice. This is important. Like I have told you, in the historical time, if you belong to a different religion from the state, then basically you are required to pay some taxes to the ruler. Then only you will be allowed to practice your own religion. Okay, but in India, when we got independence and when we made a democratic country, so basically we gave right to practice. It means that you could do the religious worships, rituals, you could organize the ceremonies and exhibitions of the beliefs and ideas freely, and there is no restricted on it. All right, thereafter, right to propagate, transmission and dissemination of one's beliefs to other or exposition of the tenets of one religion. Okay, like you have seen that there are various religious leaders who generally you can say encourage people to join some particular religion, so that particular things comes under the right to propagate. Okay, so basically here we have covered that there is you can say freedom of conscience, freedom of express, okay, freedom of propagate, okay, and the last freedom was freedom of practice. All right, so these things are allowed, but remember now it's a matter of some restrictions. Like first, it does not include a right to convert another person to one's own religion. Okay, like if we talk about the historical times, so generally rulers and its council forced the people who did not belong to their religion to convert into religion of ruler or the council. This is banned in India. Like no person having the right to convert any other person to one's own religion. Thereafter, forcible conversions impinge on the freedom of conscience guaranteed to all persons alike. Like if suppose there is anyone, or you can say any religion is in majority, okay, and then they're forcing minority ones to get convert into their religion. So this is not allowed in India. Why? Because this is against the freedom of conscience. All right, from the above it is clear that article number 25 covers not only religious beliefs, doctrine, but also religious practices, rituals. Okay, like if we talk about any particular religion, for example, you are the follower of Hinduism, follower of Islam, follower of Sikhism, follower of Christianity, follower of Buddhism, follower of Jainism, follower of Jewish, and any other particular religion. Okay, so basically there are always two things in the any religion. The first, ideology, to get connect with God. Okay, like every religion having its own ideology. Okay, like in Hinduism we have a idol worship, in Islam we have a pilgrimages, in Sikhism we have a serving the society, in Christianity if you go to the church you will be near to the God, in Buddhism you are required to follow some set of you can say rules and regulations, same with the Jainism, and even in the Jewish the similarities with the Islam. Okay, so basically there is an ideology to get connect with the God. And the second thing, set of practice required to get those ideology followed. Okay, like you have got the ideology, now you are required to do some you can say things or the do some set of practices so that you will be followed those ideologies in reality. Okay, so there are these two things. So basically if we talk about article number 25, so article 25 just not only deal with the ideology, It means that, okay, if you want to follow the Hinduism, Islam, Sikhism, Christianity, Buddhism, Jainism, Jewish, you could do it. There is no offense. But this is also deals with the set of practice required to get those ideologies followed. It means that, as we had discussed in the historical times, even if the religion of ruler and the public different, then they could follow their ideology. But for the practice of their religion, they are required to do some, you can say, things like paying taxes and tributes to the kings. But here, through by the Article 25, we gave the freedom to all, not only follow their ideology, but also doing some practices so that they could, you can say, fulfill the religious requirements. All right. So remember this thing. Thereafter, moreover, these rights are available to all persons, citizens as well as non-citizens. Okay. So basically, that is universal rights. Okay. Not exclusive one. Thereafter, however, these rights are subject to the public order, morality, health, and other provisions relating to the fundamental rights. Okay, like you could do the consciousness, you can profess, you can practice, you can even propagate, but until or unless whatever you are doing is not against the public order, not against the morality, not against the health, and not against any provision of the fundamental right. If it is so, then there are some restrictions which could be put on it. All right. Thereafter, if we talk about the another thing, so basically there are certain powers which have been granted to the state. And what are these? First is regulate or restrict any economic, financial, political, or other secular activity associated with the religious practices. Okay, like many times we have seen, if we talk about the donations, to religious institutions. Okay, so basically the government could put some checklist on it. Okay, like they could they could ask the donations amount, okay, to review and all. All right. Thereafter, if any particular religious institutions promote any political interest, then basically some restrictions could be put on it. All right, because in India there is a policy that religion and politics, they must be separated from each other. Okay, so that's why if any religious institutions having any political interest or doing anything which is, you can say, directly or indirectly giving the winds to the political agendas, then the government could put check on it. Thereafter, provide for social welfare in form or through open Hindu religious institutions of a public character to all classes and sections of Hindus. Like we know, in the ancient times, the lower class, also known as Shudras, okay, these peoples are not allowed to enter into the religion, you can say religious institutions or temples and all. Okay, so basically, if the government finds out like anything happening like this, so to promote the equality, the government could interfere into the religious institution matters and even allow the entry of all classes and sections of Hindu. Okay, thereafter, Article 25 also contains the two explanation. One, wearing and carrying of kirpan is to be included in the profession of Sikh religion. Okay, like you have seen, many Sikh near the gurudwaras and all, they usually wear and carry the kirpans with them because this is a part of their religion. So basically there is a freedom that they could do it. Second, the Hindus in this contents includes the Sikh, Jains and Buddhist. Okay, like this is the, you can say, the religions which are oftenly considered as a Hindus when it's a matter of broad definition. All right. So students, basically in this lecture we have finished till here. In the next lecture we will start from here. Till then, just revise the facts and figures that all we have discussed in this lecture and be ready for the another lecture. Okay. And why I am saying this to you, because if you look at here, just in you can say article 25, we have discussed so many things. We have even connected it with the past history of India. So that's why it's become very, very important that you will revise it on time. Why? Because then only you will be able to connect it with the past as I have done. Okay. If you are not doing this on the regular basis, the thing will not so be beneficial for you. To honestly, I'm speaking. Okay. So with this note, let's end this lecture and thank you.